Hello.
I need to ding dong, bam, boom, Artemis. There we go. I have now added my girlfriend Artemis Snap as a VIP to the channel. I should have done that a while ago, but I forgot to do that. Blue was giving me shit for not doing it sooner. But now I have remembered to do so. I have remembered these things. That was PayPal nonsense. There we go. You're a what now? You got like a nice little you got a diamond next to your little subscribe thingy-majiggy. So it denotes you as a VIP to the stream, to the channel. It's just a it's a little additional thing as like for the community to recognize. So, because you can be like a VIP, you can be a moderator, you can be an artist, or you can be or a subscriber. Like these are like all the different thingy-majiggies you can be. Hi there, Miss Sonic. Welcome, welcome. Also, is my hands like not doing the
Hello.
hello? Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not front and center right now. I need to fix that. Hang on. Bam. There we go. Although, why is he? Hang on. I think I know what's going on. Hang on. I gotta do this silly nonsense when I get the opportunity. All right, so think. There we go. All right. And then I can go... Bomb. There we go. Alrighty then. Now I should be relatively decent. Greetings all. Hey Aziz, just checking in, but sadly I'm too tired to watch the rest of the stream, so I'll watch the VOD later. All good, Wild Saber. All good. Real life takes your back and slanted. Like just basically like just getting the model, like, you know, squared away correctly. getting the model like squared away, so then that way when I present myself to all you lovely viewers, it isn't, you know, all messed up and what have you. Because otherwise then my head's like, you know, shooting straight up and all this kind of nonsense, which doesn't look too good. So, but yeah. Welcome everyone. Hopefully you're doing all right. Artemis, thank you so much for being here first. It's your first time you hit that redeem as well, and why? I wanted to talk about my shirts. I had come up with a new way of doing my shirts. I didn't kind of brushed upon it back on Sunday, but I'm gonna have to wait until I get my shirt back before I do so. Also, sippies. God, the temptation of not streaming today was high. Also, I probably shouldn't have my water bottle there. I should probably have my water bottle there. So, alright, in pain. Still wanted some eye candy. Oh no! You're in pain. I know the details as to why you're in pain and what have you. I don't know. Ow! Why you do this to me, Sir Dragon? In the opening minutes of me being online and doing the stream and everything like that, I get my shirt stolen. I get the fucking anvil thrown at me. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, Brain, you can do this. You're allowed to share. It's hard to type one-handed. All right, cool. So my girlfriend Artemis had to go to a dental thingamadiggy to get her, like, you know, the wisdom teeth extracted, because some people get problems with their wisdom teeth and such. It's the genetics thing. And some of us have to like get them, you know, pulled out because they're not growing correctly and such. And so for Artemis, she had to get hers removed because they were, you know, doing some not proper nonsense thingamadiggies. And so so she's gone and got, you know, 2 of them removed and what have you, and so has to deal with swelling and pain while doing so. So best of luck to her. She is right now going to be sipping on ice cubes, soup, and soft foods, hopefully only for like the next like 3-ish days. But yeah, it's all gonna be, you know, trying to manage the pain and what have you. Apparently, the, like, one side of the mouth is not as painful as the other. But to be fair, like, there was a lot more work done on the other one, apparently, so... You know, if a person is in front of you, they're not behind you. Such wise words, Sir Dragon. No ice cubes, don't have a tray, but very cold water. Oh, okay. What about a... Hang on a second. Isn't there, like... Dun, 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 dun. There's, like... What's the cost of an ice cube tray? Ice cube tray. Hi there, Izzy. Welcome. Also, Izzy, you've started getting into some 40k literature and appreciating how funny Dawn of Fire Avenging Sun is. Nice. I have not been keeping up with my Warhammer 40k literature. I have Dawn of Fire. So, Dawn of Fire. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. Because of that, because of this one here, this image right here, Izzy, I'm gonna be real, I thought this was like a slow burn romance. You know, Heated Rivalry? Like, because of this image, I thought you were like pointing out to like a fucking romance like novel within the Warhammer 40k universe, where it's like, by the Golden Emperor, why would we do such things? And it's just like the Emperor loves all, but only I love you more. I thought like, just look at this. The cover art does not do the story justice. Okay, so it isn't a slow burn gay romance between Bobby G and Rabute Gilliman and whoever this guy is. And then she's just watching in the cuck corner. What is she, an Inquisitor, or is she like with the Ultramarines? This tells you fuck all about the plot. Yeah, no, exactly. Like I said, Izzy, my first impressions was somehow a slow burn gay romance between Bobby G and whoever this guy is. That was my guess. That was my guess to what the Dawnfire thingamadiggy is. Let's see. As the Indominus Crusade spreads out across the galaxy, one battle fleet must face a dreaded slaughter host of chaos. Their success or failure may define the very future of the Crusade and the Imperium. Listen to it, because the brand new Warhammer 40k saga begins here. Experience the Indominus Crusade in a battle that will be a tipping point for the future, an all-action tale by Guy Haley. A great darkness has befallen the galaxy, and the armies of chaos are rampant. To survive, humanity must retaliate and take back what they have lost. By the will of the reborn Primarch, Rabute Gilliman, is the Indominus Crusade launched, a military undertaking that eclipses all others in known history. From the throne world of Terra does the Avenging Sun hurl his fleet, their mission the very salvation of mankind. As vessels in their thousands burn through the cold void, the attention of Fleet Mistress Van Lexus turns to the Makorota Sound, a region under attack by a dreaded slaughter host of the Dark Gods. The success of the Indominus Crusade will be determined by this conflict and the desperate mission of the battle group Saint Aster, led by Space Marine Lieutenant Messinius. Even then, it is but a prelude to the forthcoming bloodshed. Nice. I can only assume that's the Commodore, who is also a main character. But yeah, 2 of the stitches on the not pain side have come out, so gotta call about that tomorrow. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Because I imagine stitches are meant to stay in there, and then they, like, you know, slowly dissolve or something like that, don't they? Like, that's what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, this tells you the plot follows like 5 different protagonists along their branches. So you got a Space Marine, 2 Terrans who have been elevated in other experiences the hell that is bureaucracy, 1 Commodore, and 1 newly requisitioned Inquisitor Imperial Guard. See, I'm not a huge fan of like multiple. I'm not a huge fan of branching protagonists in a storyline. Like, let me be like, hang on, let me get to the. I'm gonna pull it out, all right? Hang on a second. So if I show you, nope, this is not it. Where's the image? There is an image. Let me find you the image. Nope. Ding. Here we go. Let me get you the image. Also, hi there, Porking King. That is an impressive gif. I'm not a huge fan of branching storylines and shit. And look at the, like, even if you go for, hang on a second. Bam. Even if you go for something like, look at this shit. Like, Horus Rising, you have, like, you have at least, like, 4 different POVs. Same, Aim in the False God. Galaxies of Flames, I think you go down to, like, 2. And then Flight of the Eisenstein, you're down to 1. It's like, I'm gonna be real, I like Flight of the Eisenstein. I feel like that actually has, like, I'll be real with you, in the first 3, my favorite character is dead. I'm really fucking annoyed. So Flight of the Eisenstein has What's-a-Mahoozy, Garo, or whatever the fuck his name is. But now that, like, I've finished the first 4, which was in chronological order, which is yay, makes total sense, I can totally get behind that, I now have to contend with where the fuck do I go for all this shit? So, like, because there's like Fulgrim. Oh, so like apparently, so I think this is the Emperor's children or something like that. So there's like you can go into like Fulgrim, and then this one here is the White Scars story arc. And then so there's the Thousand Suns and Space Wolf. So that's basically Vikings in space versus Egyptian magic. Apparently, some of that goes into White Scars story arc. But the thing is like I've not seen any of the White Scars in the first 4, so why would I go into? So meanwhile, over here we got the Ultramarines and the Word Bearers. Then we've got the Sons of Horus minor storyline. And then the Imperial Fist. Like, I would like to just go through in, like, chronological, like, or book release order. Like, that would be kind of nice. But apparently some of the stories are absolute shit and are not recommended. Like, all of this to get to Siege of Terra, where finally, once you get to Siege of Terra, then it goes back into, like, you know, normal order and what have you. So, but I don't want to skip all the way to Siege of Terra or anything like that, so I need, like, a recommendation of, it was, like, here in a whiles ago. Like, hang on a sec. So, ding, here we go. So this one, I think, had, like, a recommendation. Newest Horus Heresy books, Era of Ruin, Ashes of the Imperium, Flames of Betrayal. So, yeah. So those were... Oh, my God, there's going to be new books in 2026. Read the first 5 books in publication order. Even though they've written by different authors, the first 3 work as an opening trilogy. Books 4 and 5 widen the lens and fill in the context you'll need for what comes next. These novels drop you into uneasy calm after the Great Crusade until Horus, the Emperor's favorite son, falls to chaos and fractures the Imperium, which follows is the spark that ignites the Civil War that relies on the art. When you're ready to jump in the timeline, check out the 40k books in order. So yeah, so Flight of the Eisenstein, and then Fulgrim is number 5. Cool, awesome. And then there's, like, all this shit. I'll be real with you. Dan Abnett, fucking amazing. Graham McNeil, loved it. Galaxy in Flames, oh my gosh. And then Flight of the Eisenstein by James Swallow, pretty decent. I feel like James Swallow did better than Ben. So, yeah. That's a lot of contenders. Excuse me. Dissolves when I had my wisdom teeth removed nearly 20 years. Ah, damn. In theory, yes, currently can't open mouth up enough to check out. Fair enough. Probably get a professional to look at it is probably the best way to do about it. The ending has the elevated Terran, whose job is to chronicle the real history. Starts his take on the Horus Heresy with, I was there when Horus slew the Emperor. I guess the Horus Heresy books might be canon. I just realized it's spoiled, but I hope they are harmless. Okay, so in the Horus Rising, like that, I will be like, if you're gonna tell me, spoiler alert, Horus, like, you know, tries to kill the Emperor and shit like that, and the Emperor, like, ends up on a golden throne, like, I am already aware about that. There's already, like, little bits and pieces because of memes, but, you know, some of it I tried to ignore and what have you. So, like, for instance, Izzy, to my knowledge, what's the name of the dude? To my knowledge, where is it? Where is the name of the dude? Blah, 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 blah. There is a dude here. I wish they gave me the name. I don't want to accidentally Google... Actually, hang on a sec. Protagonist in Horus Rising. I swear to cross it. There we go. Garviel Loken. Garviel Loken. He's my favorite. And to my understanding, after reading the first 4 books, he's dead. I went into a VR chat world, hanging out with people and what have you, and and I was telling him, it's like, oh yeah, I just got started on the books, and I finished Galaxy of Flames, and I'm currently in the Flight of the Eisenstein, and I'm so annoyed that they killed Garviel Loken, and I'm so upset because he was my favorite. And the guy decides to tell me he's not dead. Go, like, you know, read this or something. Like, I can't remember what he told me to read, but he basically just, you know, flat out told me that, like, oh, he's not dead. And I was just like, what? So now comes the fun bit where it's like, I now know that, like, you know, the emotional stakes I had from Galaxy in Flames is like, what the shit? Like, what do you mean he's not dead? And apparently it's like somewhere down here like with Garo or like somewhere around here with like related to Garo or something like that, we see him again, and I'm like, well, shit. Why? Also, for those of you who were reading, you know, Horus Heresy books and were kind of at pace with where I am or what have you, and are like, oh my gosh, how can you say this? Yeah, yeah, that's what it feels like. I'll let you figure out the context once you're done. Yeah, because I remember in the first book, Garvio Loken, that was something he said as like as a joke of he was there when Horus slew the Emperor, because they went to like a planet that considered itself Terra that had an emperor, and they went to war because the emperor there was like annoyed that they insinuated that there was an emperor of mankind when the emperor at this planet considered himself an emperor of mankind, and yada yada yada. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'm getting distracted. I've gone over like the, you know, the major bits, which is girlfriend had her wisdom teeth like pulled out and all this kind of nonsense, and you know, it's feeling real bad and real pain and such like that. How much are these things? Self-cleaning in 30 minutes. Ice cubes in 6 seconds. Ooh, and you can come up with different chewable sizes. I honestly like that idea. I like the idea of a ice maker. That's kind of cool. I should really make a cat. You know what I need to do? Like, it was talked about in I'm gonna close this so then that way I don't continue getting distracted and I get myself over into the gaming screen. I want to do I kind of want to do this, and like, you know, Artemis is in the chat, so she can weigh in on this if she wants. I want to have a section of the wish list thingy-majiggy in my, like, I have a throne, by the by, and you know, me putting ideas into the throne isn't very easy and what have you, but there are some items. Oh, god damn you, Danny. You shouldn't do this to me while while I have my shirt off. I look disgusting. Ugh. But yeah, I had the idea of having a section of the throne, because you can do categories in the throne. Ow. Something went wrong with trying to run this game. Verify and repair. Yes. Sorry, I just need to verify the game. But yeah, sorry, I'm just like, I'm pressing a fidget toy, which is just keycaps while I'm trying to think. Basically, so I have a throne, which is just basically a wish list for people to be able to gift things to me without me revealing my home details or anything like that. One of the ideas I had, because I went down to the Gold Coast to hang out with Blue, Foxy, Nicey Icy, and a couple of other like furries and such, because they were over. The reason why I didn't stream, and my hair is gone. The reason why I didn't stream on Monday is because I was down in, once again, it's saying something is wrong with the game I'm launching. Why are you telling me the game is, like, what is wrong? Verify and repair. Choosing to verify and repair your files will reset this game to its original settings. You won't retain any mod files in the game settings that are backed up mail. Yes, I want to continue. I want you to double check why in the world it isn't. Okay, so it says ready to play, but I don't trust you. So I'm going to quit out of that. I'm going to run Gears 5. Checking, synchronizing, launching. Something went wrong again. Why is something going wrong? What is the issue? 8007000C1. 8007000C1. When just right indicates a not valid Win32 application. Usually streams from a corrupted Windows system file, failed update, or among functioning, commonly stops or prevents from launching. Fixes include running the SFC, resetting Windows Update components, or reinstalling game services. Are you kidding me? Oh boy. There's always one thing, isn't there? SFC. Yeah, now. All right, let's see what is Doing some quick repairs on my side. Thinned out recently, I see. Yeah, no, also I lost some weight when I was like, when Blue last saw me like 2 years ago, I was a lot heavier. They saw me back on Monday, and they noticed I lost weight, which I thought was really cool. Wish I'd gone to Furdu, but the trains were canceled that weekend. Oh yeah, no, that's like I didn't go to Furdu because I told myself that unless people were explicitly asking for me, I was not going to be going to, a I wasn't going to be going to a convention or anything like that. So that was number one. Number two, even though I could have gone for like a day pass or something like that, I was on call during that week. So someone could have rung me up on like, the Saturday or Sunday evening, and I would have to answer and I would have to help them, which would have been very painful to try and do. So yeah, and considering, like you said, Tanmux, the trains were not running, south during that weekend, it would have been very, very difficult for it would have been very difficult trying to get down there via, public transport or anything like that. So, but me and Artemis, we went down on Monday to hang out with Blue, Foxy, and Icy, and a couple of other furries outside of Furdu. We went to Dream World, which was really fun. We went on a few rides. We went and got we checked out the tigers. We got some like little silly nonsense. Another sippies while I wait for the thingamajiggy to verify. Okay, didn't find any integrity violations, which is good. All right, let's try Gears 5 again then. This is going to be one of those things where I'm going to have to like force it to reinstall the entire thing because there's like 100 gigs. My ears are not silly. Okay, cute. We got cute cat ears for Artemis. But yeah, so excuse me, throat. Let's see. Is this program going to run or not? Heavens forbid it doesn't. Come on. Launching game. This might take a while depending on your PC and the game. It shouldn't take a while. We're not trying to launch Artemis to the moon. We are literally just trying to get a video game playing. But sure. Sure. Let's take our time. We're about to approach the the 1 minute mark of trying to run this game. Something went wrong launching it. Okay, cool. Absolute pain. Where is Gears 5? Xbox. Sorry, give me a second. All right, it's launching the Xbox app. Cool. And then it's loading up all this. Cool. Loading up Gears 5. Checking for updates, syncing data, launching. And then immediately something goes wrong. Why? Like, manage, files, browse. All right, let's have a look. So, content.
Did you see it?
Shirts? Oh, yeah. So yeah, so basically, one of the... I'll try my best to explain this thingy-majiggy while I'm, going through the Gears, WinStore. All right. To find a version of your, please check with publisher. Gears 5 EAC. Okay, knowing my luck, I'm gonna have to uninstall and reinstall. This is annoying. Like, according to settings, as soon as possible. It shouldn't be crashing. Like, it's kind of ridiculous that it is. Unless, wait, hang on. Where's the Control-Shift-T? There we go. All right, so we've already done a check of that, leading to this error. Fix Windows update, delete the, restart the service, run the, fix the gamepad. All right, here we go. Ding, dong. Find the Xbox, click advance, repair. All right, here we go. So, sorry. We're trying to fix things. This is going to be one of those like fun instances where Ding, 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 dong. Because you were working, like, last minute. Repair. I wonder if it's because, like, the Xbox app was, like, updated and now it's having troubles. 89% bimbo rating for the poor king. Nice, nice, nice. But yeah, brain, you can do this. Delete corrupted folder, remove... ensure app readiness is set to advanced. Okay, so it's repaired the thingy-madiggy. Let's run Xbox again. Actually, I should probably double check and make sure that there isn't any pending updates in the Windows Store either. So... Oh, I totally forgot I had all these Destiny things. Game bar. Gears 5. Open. Let's give this a try. Something went wrong launching the game. What in the actual fuck? What in the actual fuck? Check for updates. Also, Windows Store apparently needs update. All right. Am I going to have to do this? Yeah, I'm probably going to... All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to uninstall Gears 5 because for whatever reason, it is actually, you know, not wanted to do its job. We can play in the cloud, apparently, but I'm not exactly a huge enthusiastic fan about that. All right, so... All right, so the Microsoft Store has been updated. Check for updates. Thank you. Hi there, Furry Romo. Welcome, welcome. I am right now just trying to get this game running. It wants 120 something gigs, so we hit next, we hit install. This is an absolute massive fucking game. Pokeos nos dos? Why not both? Oh, the himbo and bimbo? Eh. Why not both indeed? Alrighty then. This thing is downloading at approximately, like, 500 megabits per second. I don't know how quickly that is, but let's see. So apparently, oh, it only requires 41 gigs to download. All right, let's see how quickly it goes. Like, hang on, let me, ding dong. There we go. So this is what we're trying to download right now. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It takes about 11 seconds to go through a gigabyte, and we only need to get another like 40 gigs downloaded. So, you know, 40 times 11, that's about like what, 440 seconds, which means divided 400 seconds. So we know 300 seconds is 5 minutes. So then 360 is 6 minutes, which means at 400, about 7 minutes. Math budget being used. Yeah, I'm using the math budget to figure out how long I'm going to have to wait for this program to download and what have you. Hopefully it's going to be a case of, you know, it will do the download and all that kind of nonsense, and it won't take forever to, like, you know, install and what have you. Gosh darn. I swear the game was working as well. All right. Okay, while I'm actually, so yeah, so while we're waiting for, hang on, I'll just write a minute. Gears 5 is being reinstalled due to, software issues. There we go. We'll pin that for the next 20 minutes. There we go. So yeah, so first and foremost, I have changed, like, this, it doesn't affect everyone here very much because the redeem is still the same redeem and what have you, but I have basically come up with a new way on my PC to go through all of the different shirts that I have. There are so many different shirts here. Now, one of the things that I could do is also, this is a new one here, parental advisory explicit content. One of the things I could do was is I'm trying to reduce the amount of like steps that I need to have been doing in order to have like new shirts available for people to redeem and what have you. Because previously, what I would do is I would create my new shirt design in like Photoshop or what have you, export it. So that's step one. Step two is I need to go into Vignon, go to the nodes, and in Vignon create a new material like texture node, explicitly loading the PNG I just set, and then having it like go into like an if-else state, going into like a switch statement and such. Like it had a lot. I mean a lot of nodes like going through, because like basically the node would go into the first one, which would be a switch case, looking for like dozens of different like, you know, text names and such like that. And then after that, once it goes through the switch cases, it goes to the it goes into the after switch case, it goes into the object material texture where it has like each one of like the material files explicitly uploaded into it. Now I use StreamerBot to handle the whole like, oh, people are, you know, hitting this redeem and what have you. Because while I had, you know, just the buttons on my Stream Deck going like, oh, hey, this action with this keyword and such, on StreamerBot, I would then have a program doing the blah, blah, blah. I'd have StreamerBot doing the, oh, if someone enters in any of these words, it means this keyword, in which case we have you, you know, go into, and then it sends the WebSocket command, you know, through blah, blah, blah. It sends the WebSocket command with like the particular keyword and what have you. Now that I've fixed up how many brain. I've now fixed it up, so now Vignon doesn't have like 40 odd like, you know, material 40 odd nodes and what have you for me to be able to do all the different shirt changes and such, which is great. However, I still am doing like I'm still being a lot of hands-on-y whenever I create new textures. So I'm still having to be like, oh, after I create the new texture file, I then have this, you know, I have this file path for it and this keyword in a CSV file. But then I'm updating a text file with all the different keywords and such. So then that way, hopefully, does it not do the announcements thing? Basically, where's the, I swear I had that as like a, I swear I had that as a command. Give me a second. Where is, so we got the pick a shirt, which is there. Where is the command about shirts? Blah, 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 blah. Chatbot. Here we go. Where's the shirt? Where's the shirt? Action history. First word, shirt picker. Is that what it's called? Shirt picker? Shirt picker. Here we go. So yeah, that's a timed action where it reads the yeah, so it reads random lines from a text file. All right, you know what? I'm gonna create a command. Hang on. Command triggered. Did I do a shirt command for this? I need to double check that right now. Because if I didn't, then that's good. Yeah, cool, awesome. I didn't. All right, create a command. Shirt command. All right, so exclamation point shirt. It is part of the chat commands. Anyone can do it. It's just got, you know, a global cooldown of like, let's say 10 seconds. I'm just going to say like 10 seconds. There we go. All right. Ding dong. All right, so ding shirt. There we go. So yeah, so I have like a shirt array text file that has all these key phrases like, you know, all titty, himbo, space marine, and what have you. And so I have that text file, and then I have a CSV that just simply has like, you know, all those keywords and the file path and what have you. So I kind of want to figure out a way to make it so that rather than like, you know, having to update a text file and a CSV, I want to try and figure out a means of being able to, you know, reduce the number of areas that I need to do edits in, and maybe better yet, do a change to how my streamer bot investigates the table and, like, you know, does the check of, oh, this person typed in this phrase and what have you. But the thing is like, I have it doing, like, you know, a check for not just like, oh, the keywords like all titty, himbo, or space marine. I have it checking other words as well. So for instance, if I go into streamerbot right now and I go to the, like, it's all switch cases. So for instance, if you wanted, for example, this shirt, the Final Fantasy green shirt, not only could you do Final Fantasy, you can do Final Fantasy with no spaces, FF, FF14, Final Fantasy XIV, Final Fantasy 14, FFXIV, Cactar, Cactrot, Cactus, Cactus Man, Runner, Running Cactus. So yeah, there's a lot of options. Also, I just realized that I put in the choice FF green, and it's like that's not even like a switch thingamadiggy there. So hang on, so FF green. Yep, cool. It compiles it, and then so yeah, so I have like all these switch cases for just in case there's like, you know, people have a different way of interpreting compile, save and compile. There we go. Running cactus. Yeah, so this shirt here. Running, oh yeah, hang on. You're giving that as a, you know, recommendation of like, oh, you could also refer to this shirt as running cactus. Oh yeah, no, it is already there, running cactus. There we go. But yeah, so, you know, the Booster Pang shirt here. Nope. Here. This Booster Pang shirt has Booster Pang, Femboy, Pink Himbo, Cute Femboy, Booster, Himbo Heart, Blue Himbo, Heart Himbo, or just simply Blue. Like, I have so many different, I have like so many different like shirt types and what have you. And not only do I have like the key words for these, but I then go down and create like other switch cases just in case people remember the shirts in a different fashion. Yes, that was probably a lot of words and what have you, but let's see if I can get this game running this time around. Preparing your game. Oh, cool. It's trying to prepare my game, and already it's run into an error for whatever reason. Why is it an error? Restart your device and try again. If this does not work, uninstall and reinstall the game. Restart install. Here we go. Restart. Are you kidding me? I'm trying to get it to unpack right now. And it's just erroring out like every step of the way. I don't understand. Why is Gears 5 so difficult to play? God, this entire week has been a wash. You're enjoying the current shirt, though? Nice. But yeah, I have all these different shirts, and I don't exactly have a really good way of presenting to viewers, like, hey, if you want the Zeebs to wear a different shirt, here's like some different key phrases and such. 5.3 out of 41 gigs, 6. And then it errors at 6. Why? Why is it having... Hi there, Tasmania. Thank you so much for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. We are currently running into some problems in trying to run Gears of War 5. Like, basically what I am doing is, hang on. Ding, dong. Where's Gears of War? There we go. Minimize that. Basically what I'm doing is, like, I have to press this button to have it continue unpacking. It's going to attempt to unpack however long, and then it's going to error out on me, and then I just have to press retry. I don't know why it is so difficult for it to do that, but this is the technical difficulties that I have on this stream in trying to play Gears 5. Already, this one is giving me like the biggest annoyance, and also I'm tapping at like a. Actually, I'm gonna. It's fine. I'm tossing away the fidget toy, so then that way you don't hear me doing like the weird keycaps tapping thing of just like click, 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 click. So, but yeah, I have to basically focus on this button changing from pause to error. Otherwise, like, it's not gonna unpack the thing fully in one go. I bet you, even after I do this, of like, pressing the, the unpacking thingamadiggy again and again and again and again, I reckon there's going to come a problem where it's going to be like errors out. So we're at 12.1 gigs, 12.8, errors out at 12.8. So we press it again, goes from 12.8 to 3.6, 13.6, errors out. So it's like less than a percentage right now. It's been going up. 14.3, errors out. 15.1, errors out. 15.9, errors out. 16.6, errors out. 17.4, errors out. This game, I swear to Christ, errors out at 18.1. You know what's really annoying is I had a friend telling me of like, oh, hey, Grant, like, I can gift you, like, or they wanted to, like, get me to be on like a 2 PC setup. So then that way, the next time, like, I, go into streaming or what have you, rather than worrying about like, the PC break, like the gaming PC, quote unquote, breaking down and such like that, he would much rather I have a second PC that's actually handling the streaming and such. So then that way, I can then restart the gaming PC or do whatever kinds of nonsense, and it goes piping into a streaming PC that has like fewer things and such. That sounds all well and good, but I am already like, my brain is hardly able to properly manage one PC. I don't know how well you think I'm going to do in regards to managing 2 PCs. Because, like, what's more is I have to constantly remind myself that while I'm playing on this PC, this one PC I have, which is already signed in to, like, my IRL credentials and shit like that, I have to make sure I don't present any IRL details while on this, one PC. Now, sure, the streaming PC could probably be set up where the streaming PC is the one with my IRL creds, but then the gaming PC, this, really ship of Theseus hunk of junk over here, is the one that's like set up with all the the GrantZeebs credentials and all that kind of nonsense. So then that way I just present the main window at all times from this PC. But, that means wiping and reinstalling the ship of Theseus PC and what have you. And I kind of don't want to have to do that. We're currently sitting at 30.2%, by the by. We're slowly but surely getting through me pressing this button over and over again to try and get it through to the end of unpacking and everything like that. Lord, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm pretty certain that even after I do this, it is going to, like, it's gonna decide to tell me, oh, it couldn't do it. There's that once again. 34%, errors out. Unpacking, 34.7, errors out. Like, it can't be doing this because I'm deciding to run it on the main SSD, is it? That would be really dumb if that was the reason why it was just having a terrible time. 36.2, errors out. I just needed to get up to 41.3 gigs, chat. I just needed to get up to there, and then I'm good. It's at 37 Evan gigs out of 41.3. We're so close. We're at 91% right now. Prepare for double. Make it double. Prepare for trouble. Make it double. To annoy the himbo with crash frustrations, unite all furries within our nation. God damn, wouldn't that be something? Uniting furries just to make me frustrated. 40 gigs. 40 gigs out of 41.3 gigs. We're almost there. 41.8. We just need to do this like 2 more times. Here we go. Come on. 41.3 out of 41.3. Errors out. Continue unpacking. Let's go. Come on. And unpacking. Errors out of 41.3. Still erroring out. It doesn't want to go through with this. It is honestly having a tough time. Why the fuck are you having a tough time? Restart install. Come on. Cancel installation. Ready to play. Press the play. C, Windows, System 32, custom install executable. Yes. Come on. Resume install. Unpacking at 41.3 gigs. Okay. I'm probably gonna actually have to restart this PC. I do want to play this game. I know I've been like kind of dealing with the bullshit for like the last whatsamahoozy several minutes. So give me a so you're gonna have to forgive me as I you're gonna have to forgive me as I do the needful. Gears 5 refuses to run. Will restart the PC. Ding. Announcement. Ding. Alrighty. I need to close out a Chrome.
Hello.
And hi there, Goldie. I am restarting my PC. Things are going to break.